2. Real estate professionals come in all sizes, shapes, colors, and levels of ability. It is home for many of the great unwashed, as well as one of the best places for an entrepreneur to make a life of wealth and giving back to their communities. Our guest today is one of those people. German born, world traveled, son of a successful international business executive, his love and academic study of both business and international business in third world countries led him to beautiful Belize back in 1992. Belize, located right below Mexico, above Guatemala, is one of the only countries in Central America where English is the primary language. Welcome to another episode of Broker Talk, a weekly real estate show sharing the unvarnished truth about real estate best practices in the industry. I'm Larry Lawfer, your host each week, and joined by Jim Lowenstern, the CEO of Castles Unlimited International. Boris Mannsfeld is a Belize real estate expert. He doesn't just buy, sell, and rent properties. He's also been developing parcels, condos, and the community. Boris helped start the Belize Volunteer Fire Department, was part of the Belize Police Department, managing partner of the Belize wind industry, is just to name a few of the things that Boris is involved in with his community. Welcome to Broker Talk, Boris. Tell me, what are your top 5 reasons to own property in Belize?
Well, thank you, Larry, and thank you for having me on the show. I really appreciate it. I'm glad to be here. Yeah, Belize is a great destination and great market. There's lots of reasons to be invested in Belize. I think the top 5 reasons are for sure the fact that it is English speaking, and that's great because it allows you to make more friends down there. It allows you to understand real estate transactions, and it really allows you to merge with the market and merge with the people and really feel like you're at home. So I think that's the number one. Another big issue there or benefit is you get title. Just like in the States, you get fee simple title. So you own the property outright forever and ever. And that's a huge plus, especially when people are investing in a foreign country. Another big benefit, I think, are the low taxes. We have property taxes usually below $100 a year, even for $1 million house. We have very low rental income taxes. For instance, if you have a VRBO home, your income tax on your rental income is only 3% of the rent, which is great. And we have no capital gains tax, no inheritance tax. There's lots of great tax benefits for people. And then I think one of the biggest attractions of Belize are the people. They're extremely friendly. They love Americans. They love foreigners. It's not one of those communities where you have the have and have nots or the locals don't like the foreigners. There's lots of interaction between everybody, which makes a great living situation. Everybody's happy and they like each other. And then obviously Belize is a beautiful country. You have great diving, sailing, fishing, hiking. There's no pollution. There's no industry, lots of open space. So I think that's a big attraction, obviously.
Well, I think
So
one of
what's
the
the, I'm sorry, what's the population? And
There's-
it was originally British Honduras. Give us
That's
a little
correct.
little
Yeah,
history.
Yeah, we're still part of the British Commonwealth. We became independent in 1981. We have British laws that helps with the real estate laws. We have English as official language. And then we have about 400,000 people in the whole country. And so it's very small. So when you visit Belize, there's lots of nothingness. There's lots of just beautiful beaches, mountains, jungle, but not a lot of people, which is great.
Well, one of the things that drew you to the country was the rainforest. It was on your
Yeah.
bucket list to go see a rainforest. And Belize,
Yeah.
tell me a little bit about Belize rainforest.
Well, Belize, I think over like 50% of the country is in some kind of national park or national reserve. So you don't have a lot of clear cutting like you have in a lot of other countries. So you have this pristine rainforests where you can hike into. We got waterfalls and zip lines and rappelling. So you can go in the jungle on these trails and see all kind of animals and just see nature at its best. It's really, really beautiful.
One of the issues with buying international real estate is it's like the Wild West in most of these
Yeah.
places.
Yeah.
Talk about the issues of going to a place where there are no rules, there's no promulgated forms. What issues are there?
Yeah, it's interesting. I call it the wild, wild west, because it is sort of wild when it gets to real estate. We have no real estate licensing in Belize, not yet. They're working on it. So you don't have to have a real estate license to become an agent. So you don't have to follow all the ethics rules that you have here in the States. So you got to, here in the States, you got to be honest about everything, or you can lose your license. In places like Belize, a real estate agent can pretty much tell you whatever they want. And if they tell you something wrong, there's no penalty for that. So it's important to work with a professional, I'm licensed in the state, but a professional real estate expert in countries like Belize, so that you know that you're being treated properly and professionally, and that you don't make any mistakes, which, there's mistakes that can be made. You got to make sure the title is correct, make sure the zoning's correct, make sure you can't build on the property what you want to build, things like that. And that's where an expert like myself and my firm, BMA, can help clients.
And I think a lot of the times in our industry, we're not just professionals who know something about zoning and laws and deeds and titles, but we're in an educational business where we have to help people who don't understand this stuff. How is it that you communicate to your clients and your leads who are interested in Belize?
Yeah, that's one thing with our business. I tell people we're not really in the real estate or the commission-based business. We're in the educational business. Our goal is to educate our clients so they know the market, they know the zoning, they know the rules and the regulations, and they know exactly what they're getting into, and also the different aspects of the different neighborhoods, so that they can make wise and rewarding decisions. So if their goal is to have a vacation home, then we make sure that it works out properly that way. If their goal is to make an investment and make a certain return, then we would steer them in that direction. So we're really there to educate people. And then if they do want to buy, then great, then they'll buy through us. But if they don't want to buy, that's okay. Our main goal is to educate our clients.
So you mentioned VRBO. How about Airbnb? Is that
That's popular. Yeah. VRBO used to be the number one rental company down there in terms of people utilizing it. Now Airbnb has caught up. So both of those firms are really active in Belize. A lot of people buy homes, put them on VRBO, Airbnb, rent them out, and you can do really well. I mean, I got a condo I own, and it gets $1,400 a month in rent. I mean, a night per rent.
Wow.
And there's some beach homes that we've rented out, and they'll make $6 to $7, $8 grand a month, triple net lease. So you can do pretty well with some of these rental properties.
So let's talk about some of the reasons why people either will retire in Belize or vacation in Belize. You mentioned diving. Isn't that is it the Blue Hole?
The Blue Hole, yeah. And we have the second largest barrier reef along the ocean as well, which is beautiful.
Okay, and a lot of Americans are moving there.
Yeah, we got Americans. Yeah, we have mainly Americans, but we have Canadians, and then we have the Europeans coming as well. We have clients from Spain, Germany, England, Netherlands, all over actually. I think one of the several of the main reasons people are moving there. One is English speaking, which is great. Two, we have a lot of direct flights from the US now. You can get there in 2 hours from Houston, Dallas, Miami. You can get there from Atlanta, Denver now. Denver's got a bunch of great flights, Frontier, United, and Southwest out of Denver. So you have a lot of easy flights there. And I think a lot of people can also work in Belize now with the COVID work from home things going on. People can move there, work. We have high-speed internet, so that's easy to do. And also the fact that it's really laid back and there's not a lot of red tape. I mean, there's not a lot of regulation. So people can really be laid back and not bother and not think people are looking for that.
Do you get hurricanes?
We are part of the hurricane zone, but we get very few hurricanes, especially the Placencia area, which is in the southern Belize. That's where a lot of my investments are concentrated. We're in the very southern part of Belize, so the hurricanes sort of have to do a curve to get to us, and most of them go up north. We've only had one official hurricane in Placencia, and that was in 2001. And now everything's built out of concrete construction, hurricane-proof doors and windows. So you can get, you're pretty safe down there. And we have the barrier reef out there, which is like 18 miles offshore. So all the big swells break on the reef. So you don't have these big storm surges that you have everywhere. So we're pretty safe.
And I think it's also like British type government too.
Yes, that's correct.
It follows the British rules of law.
Yeah, we have British common law.
Yeah, what side of the road do you drive on?
We drive on the same side as in the United States and in Europe. Yeah. Oh. I don't want to say the right or the wrong side, but there's no right or wrong. But yeah, it's
drive on the right side. And the currency is its
It's
own,
the
or
Belize dollar, but it's pegged 2 to 1 to the US dollar. So you can pay everything in US dollars, which makes it convenient. And we have US electric plugs, US cell phones work in Belize. So it's all very convenient for Americans to travel down
it
there.
sounds very similar to Aruba in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I've never been, so I don't know, but it's simple traveling. Yeah, it's been really great actually. Yeah. And people love it. Everybody's friendly. It's easy to get around. It's, being English, you can understand the menus. And if you have an attorney and need an attorney, you can talk to your attorney. Nothing has to be translated. Yeah.
Are there colleges and educational
Yeah, there is a college in Belize called the University of Belize, and it's pretty popular. And they have some programs with some of the universities in the States. And also, we get a lot of archaeological groups that come down through the universities in America that come down and do programs for archaeological studies. And then we do a lot of reef studies as well, or ecological stuff, and also NGOs. So there's a lot of interaction between some of the universities in the States. Yeah,
We'll,
worked
we'll
out
be
pretty.
we'll be right back in a moment. Stick around, and we'll find out a little bit more about Belize.
When you are searching for a new home, you want to be working with a realtor with years of experience, a professional with intimate knowledge of the communities that you are considering moving to, and someone who really wants to represent you as a buyer in what is probably the largest investment you will ever make in your lifetime. The realtors at Castles Unlimited want to be your choice when you are ready to make your next move. Please visit us at castlesunlimited.com or call us anytime at 800-967-3561. The realtors at Castles Unlimited are here to help your next purchase, lease, or sale of any real estate the easiest decision you've ever made. Start your search anytime, 24/7 at castlesunlimited.com.
Welcome back. Hey, Jim, you had a question you wanted to ask.
Yes, I do. So, Boris, the construction. So it's mainly CBS concrete block. Um, would you ever find things like basements and attics and single family houses there?
No, everything's pretty much at the water line. So yeah, no basements, but everything's built out of cinder block, cement, poured slab floors, rebar. Everything's built really well down there now, and no attics. Yeah.
If you're buying on the beach, do you need to, or is it a good idea to, or is it even available? We're talking about flood insurance.
Yeah, we have two main insurance companies in Belize, and they're both underwritten by groups out of England. So they're well underwritten, well funded. And when you get insurance on your house for theft and fire, it covers everything. It covers all your natural disasters, flooding, hurricanes, everything. Yeah, so you're pretty well covered there with that. So if you can,
let's talk about some of the listings that you have, and describe the properties and the prices.
Sure. Yeah. Belize, especially on the beach area where we're located, we're on the peninsula by Placencia. It's 60 miles long. So we have beach lots, we have income properties, we have some small resorts for sale. We also are the largest island broker in Belize. My company BMA is. So we sell a lot of islands in Belize, and you get full ownership of an island, which is a great thing. And then we have obviously single family beach homes and other kind of homes. Your beach homes will start around 500,000. Your beachfront condos will start around 400,000. These are all high-end homes and high-end condos. And your beach lots, you can get a Caribbean beach lot with title for about $250,000. So there's lots of options.
What's the flight cost from Denver?
You know,
I know you're in Denver.
Yeah, Denver, there's around 500 to 600. Right now, Frontier is starting December 11th for their first flights to Belize. I'm really excited about that. And from Denver round trip, they're $277 right now. So you can get down there pretty cheap. Yeah, and so like from Denver, it's like a 4-hour flight from Denver, easy flight. You leave here in the winter when it's freezing cold. You get there and you land on basically at the beach. It's been great. Yeah, it's really nice.
I like to eat the local food whenever I go there. What's the local food in Belize?
Belize has a lot of seafood, obviously, and then a lot of rice and beans, typical Caribbean food that you get in Jamaica and a lot of the Caribbean countries. But we also have a very active agricultural market in Belize industry. So you get all kind of different vegetables. And we have a lot of great restaurants now in Belize. You have a lot of entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs from the States moving down there, open up restaurants and stuff. So we have Korean food, Indian food, all kind of great food. And we're starting to become, we're becoming like a foodie destination, actually. Yeah, it's been pretty nice. Yeah.
Any good pizzas?
Yes, there are a couple of great pizzas. There's one place called Rick's Cafe. It's right in Placencia. They got awesome pizza. Yeah, really nice pizza. You got to have good pizza. Yeah.
Well, that pizza is kind of universal, isn't it now?
Yeah, it is. And we have great seafood. Obviously, it's right fresh out of the ocean, and it's it's really nice. Yeah.
So is there any urban area? I mean, only 400,000 for the whole
No,
country.
the main urban area is Belize City, and that's where the international flights go into. And there's about, I think it's up to about 80,000 people now. And that's where, you know, you can do major well, not major, but shopping up there. There's home furnishing stores. There's a lot of law firms. All the banks are up there and stuff. But most people go to either Placencia or a few other different areas in Belize.
Right, because it's an island, you know.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it's pretty much yeah. I mean, the country is connected to the mainland, so you're still connected to Mexico and the mainland. So you're not a total island, but it's pretty much the island atmosphere. You know, beachy, laid back, sun, water, all that kind of stuff.
I know that
Any mountains?
you have children. Are you interested in having your children become part of the real estate and development world?
Yeah, you know, I got young kids, and they come down there a lot. I'm actually going to take them back down for spring break this year, hopefully, and they're getting to the point they're starting to see business. Like back here in Denver, we do lemonade stands and yard sales, and they're getting into how to make a few bucks by working hard. And they're starting to show some interest. And yeah, I'd love to have them get involved. You know, that's part of having your own business. You know.
So what's the terrain like? Are there any mountains or? I mean, you mentioned zip lining, so I figured.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, we have the coast, obviously, then we have hundreds of islands, which are really low and tropical. And then you have the Maya Mountains, which are more in the southern part of Belize and the central part. And nice thing about Placencia, where we're just 20 minutes from the mountains. And there's a 120,000 acre national park there where you have tall mountains. There's one mountain called Victoria's Peak, which is the tallest mountain in Belize. And you can hike up and back on that mountain. It takes about 4 days. It's a great adventure. And you can, from the top, you can see the ocean and everything. And then we have rainforests and rivers. And yeah, Belize has got a little bit of everything. It's a great country geographically.
How many meters or feet is the peak?
I think it's like 3,900 feet, but you know, from sea level. So you got almost 4,000 feet to go straight up, you know.
I was just wondering if there was any snow. Apparently not.
No snow. Yeah, no, only in the margaritas and the frozen daiquiris. That's where you get your snow.
That's a perfect place for the snow to be.
Yeah, I agree.
So, what kind of projects are you planning on in the future in Belize? I know that we just talked about some of them that you already have. Do you have any other ideas?
Yeah, you know, I'm always interested in creating jobs and sort of trying to uplift the economy in Belize. So we have this renewable energy project that we've been working on for years. I have the brokerage company, BMA, and then I have a condominium project. But I'm looking to do other things in Belize that, like I said, helps create jobs, make the country better. I'd like to get into helping out with the plastic reprocessing out of the ocean. You know, we have plastic problems all over the world. It'd be great if you can harvest that somehow and maybe use it to make building materials. There's some NGOs down there that are working on coral reef restoration, processing seaweed. So there's lots of things like that I would like to get into, or 3D printed homes, you know, to help. You can make 3D printed homes now really cheap. And my idea was to do some 3D printed homes community where for every house I sell to a foreigner for a retirement home, give one home away for free to the locals that need a home.
That's a great idea.
So there's great ways to give back.
Boris, are you a diver?
Yeah, you know, I dive. I've been diving for 40 years, but I wouldn't call myself a diver. I've been a million times.
I was wondering, did you have a lionfish problem?
We did. You know, we had lionfish invasion a long time ago, and we got it under control.
You ate them all.
Pardon?
You ate them all?
You ate
I
them
know,
all.
God, I wish. Well, you know, one thing the government did, they got really proactive. Normally, you're not
They're
allowed.
delicious.
Yeah, they are delicious. You're not allowed to spearfish with scuba gear in Belize because it's too easy. But they changed the law for lionfish. They said you can shoot all you want with a line if there are lionfish involved. So a lot of scuba divers are going down there and shooting the lionfish. So the government's very proactive in bettering the country, you know.
I was on a dive boat. After a dive, we had a bunch of lionfish. The guy skinned it. We were just eating raw lionfish.
Yeah, ceviche. Yeah.
Well, it was sushi.
It's great.
It wasn't marinated.
Yeah, we have it down there. Some of the restaurants, like Rumfish Restaurant, they serve a really good lionfish tacos and stuff. Really good stuff. Yeah. So the problem's gotten under control, luckily. Yeah.
That's excellent to hear. Now, talk a little bit about Denver, because half your time is in Denver. What are you working on in Denver?
You know, I've been living in Denver for 29 years. I used to be a real estate developer here and a real estate broker. I developed a lot of fix and flips and a lot of historic homes and saved a lot of buildings from the wrecking ball. And now I am really just focused on Belize, and I'm in Denver, and I promote Belize. I give seminars in Denver about why to go to Belize and how to go to Belize and all that. So I'm here really promoting Belize. That's all I really do in Denver, and spend time with my family, and I'll ride a lot of bikes and those kind of things. I'm pretty active. I
Yeah,
love going to the mountains.
a great place to ride your bike.
It is. Yeah, it is a great place.
We'll be right back, folks.
Smells so good.
We've been talking food here. Anybody hungry after that hot dog ad there?
I am.
Do they have hot dogs in Belize?
They have hot dogs everywhere, I think, in the world. Yeah,
I do, wherever mystery meat is. But these are the Savage Wiener. They're gourmet hot dogs.
yeah,
Um,
definitely.
uh, it's a tough business, real estate, and it's always fascinating to me that I said in the beginning, there's a lot of great unwashed people there. It's a short barrier of entry, but you've been in the business for a long time, and one of the things that you said to me is you learn every day. And that's absolutely true of every good agent. The worst ones will say, "Do you know how long I've been in the business?" That usually means that they haven't been learning since they got in, usually.
Yeah, good
Um,
point.
how do you deal with bad agencies or bad agents in Belize?
That's a good question. We have a lot of checks and balances in our office. We have a lot of good contacts with the government, with the lands department, building department, all the attorneys we know well. So we do a lot of checks and balances, make sure everything is done properly. Title searches, all that stuff gets done. Every once in a while, we get a bad deal, but we learn how to fix it and how to get around it and make sure everybody's happy with the way it goes. Yeah.
We have a lot of brokers and new agents that are watching this, not just the consumers who are
Yeah.
looking for good real estate. For the new people, if you're coming into this industry and you're, you know, anywhere in the middle of our country and you want to have a Caribbean or start a business somewhere, what would you tell those people to do? What are the best practices, do you think?
Well, I think some of the best practice for any business and for any, not just business, for life in general, is just, plan for the future. Don't be concerned about the now, be concerned more about what's going to happen down the road. That's what we do. We always work for what's going to happen in the future, and be honest and work hard. Nothing's free. Some people like to do quick deals and sort of change the rules a little bit, or sort of, not lie, but sort of say gray information as sort of black and white. Be honest, work hard, and treat your clients as if they're, a piece of gold, and treat them right. And then in the long run, they'll come back to you and then you get more and more business, but you got to really start off on that right foot and not take the shortcuts. Yeah.
A good client will recommend 4 or 5 other people as they go along.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you have helped them, you have changed their lives.
Yeah, definitely. Especially when people buy a beach home or a business in Belize. We just sold a couple of small beach resorts to some clients, one from California, and they're very happy. They're going to make good return, and they're already referring their friends to us. So that's the way the business works.
How's the medical system in Belize?
We have a public medical system. It's free. And we have a couple of private clinics in Belize, like private medical hospitals. And I recommend people go to those, the private ones, for anything serious. But our medical system is getting better all the time, especially with more foreigners moving down. Like in Placencia, the government just announced a $1.3 million new medical clinic for the community. So there's stuff happening. Yeah.
Stuff happening. That's that's excellent. What other kinds of advice would you give new agents? I know you said be consistent. Wasn't that what you said? Or
Yeah. And like any business, you hear it all the time, but never give up. When you start a new business, you got to grind it out. You got to put in those hours. You got to make some sacrifices. You might not be able to work out every day that you want to, or ride your bike every day, or you may have to take a little bit of time away from your kids or your spouse. But you got to work hard but get that business going. Never give up. If somebody says no, you can't do this, say okay, well, there's a way around it. Think outside the box, but just keep going. You got to. It's hard work running a business, but there's so many rewards. You're independent. You can make good money. You have your own schedule, unlimited vacation time. You can spend more time with your kids. So there's lots of benefits, but it's a lot of work, and just keep going.
A lot of work. Being your own boss. I mean, I've been self-employed my whole life, and the only thing I really know from that is my boss is a jerk. He gets me up and makes me work hard all day.
Yeah,
well, Boris did the right thing. He incorporated vacation with work.
Exactly.
I mean, the whole
no, it's great.
Promoting Belize. How many months out of the year do you live there?
I used to live there full time for a couple of years, but now I go there about 1 week a month, sometimes 2 weeks a month. So I go to Belize and come back to Denver, and I love going to Belize. When I go show islands, I go out on the boat all day long and look at islands. I've been to some of the HGTV shows. So when we film the TV shows, we're out on the islands, or it's great. And most of my clients want to have a drink, so we go out and have a few margaritas, go fishing. That's all part of my job. It's not too bad.
What are people doing with those islands? How big is the island?
Man, anything from half acre to 20 acres. They're building private homes. Some are building small, really boutique resorts that are going to be fabulous. There's a couple of them already opened. So it's mainly just resorts and private homes. Yeah. And some people just want to get away from the States and have a place where they can truly get away. And so they buy an island from us, build a house. Family
so
comes.
A half acre doesn't sound like a lot. So if there's a storm, you need to get off that island. Right?
Well, yeah, but they're elevated and protected and stuff. Even during the storms, I don't know any islands that have vanished. So they're still there, and you get title. And so it's yours forever and ever, and your grandkids can enjoy them. Yeah.
So you put in a dock, you put in a house, you take your boat to your house, I guess.
Yeah, take your boat. And we also have helicopter charter service from Belize City, so you can fly out with a helicopter if you want to spend that kind of money. But yeah, there's lots of ways to get out there, and there's some really nice.
How far out are some of these islands?
Anywhere from Placencia, anywhere 5 minutes to 45 minutes at the most, and most of them are like 20 to 30 minutes, 20 minutes.
How many miles is that?
Anywhere from 1 mile to 15 miles. Yeah, yeah. Depending on how fast your boat is, you can get out there pretty quick. But the islands are beautiful, and you can island hop when you go to Placencia. You can go out all day long, hit a couple of these islands. There's a couple of restaurants out there, bars and stuff. Then you go fishing during the day, snorkeling. It's really a lot of fun. Yeah.
And how's the crime in Belize?
Is it a destination for weddings?
Oh yeah, definitely. Weddings, and also yoga retreats are coming to Belize a lot. So those week-long yoga retreats, weddings, a lot of corporate events now. Church groups are coming down doing volunteer work. Yeah, it's the thing is everybody's so friendly there. The locals just open up to you. They speak English, so you can get along with everybody and everybody communicate. And it's a great community down there, especially Placencia. Yeah.
So low crime rate, I guess.
Low crime rate, and we have some crime in Belize City, but that's the main city. And down in the tourist areas like Placencia, we have very little crime. Yeah.
But it's not locked off. It's not a gated community there.
No.
Concerned about that aspect.
No, not at all. I mean, people have vacation homes right on the main road. Yeah, it's not like some of the countries in the Caribbean where you got to stay in your compound. Belize is safe, friendly. We have plenty of tourist police, and everybody watches out for each other. And the fact that everybody speaks English, even the locals can tell you, hey, there's something going on down the street or something happened down there, and so everybody sort of communicates.
So it's more of a family place than it is a college destination.
Oh, yeah. Break. Yeah, definitely. Especially the Placencia area. It's more families, active communities. People want to get out and do things, enjoy the outdoors, and enjoy the community. Yeah, it's definitely that. It's not the big spring break party all night long kind of destination, not like Cancun and those kind of places. Yeah, that's what makes Belize nice. It's very relaxing and lots of opportunity. And
Let's talk about the pandemic. Is there a lot of issue with COVID-19 in Belize?
Yeah, Belize was the very last country, I think, in the world to get a COVID case. So we were COVID free for a long time. And then we got it, obviously, they closed the airport for 8 months, reopened in October. We got down to about 63 cases, I think. Now, the last month, it's been going up a little bit. We have, more than 63 now. But, the government was very proactive. They made all the hotels follow certain protocols to be safe and clean and all that. And, now you got to have your COVID test before you go. So they've done a really good job managing it, and people are coming down, and you can go down and enjoy the restaurants, enjoy the ocean. It's actually been pretty good. Yeah.
So
been
it's
very,
not like Hawaii where you have to be quarantined for a couple
no,
of
no
days.
quarantine. All you got to do is have a COVID test before you go, and what you can do, and then you get a COVID test before you leave, which you can get completed down there at many places. And then you got to wear a mask in public when you're walking down the street. But if you had a resort at your house or on the ocean, no mask, and it's great. Yeah, but restaurants are open, and yeah, it's really easy now. Yeah.
Sounds like we should do a remote show from there, Jim.
I think so, on one of those
Yeah.
islands, for sure.
We can go find some lionfish and drink margaritas.
There we go. There we
Yeah,
go. I've seen that show where you drink it on the show. We haven't done that yet, though, Jim. I don't know why.
The drunk history, is
Yeah.
that
Well,
what you're talking about?
we can do it in Belize. We can be the first one for you.
There we go. And that's incentive enough.
Yeah.
Boris, it's been absolutely wonderful to have you here talking about BMA and Belize.
Yeah.
We really appreciate your time, and
Definitely.
we're thrilled to have heard all of this. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah. Well, thank you,
Thank you,
Larry.
Boris.
Yeah. Thank you, Jim, for having me. I really appreciate it.
You've wasted another perfectly good half hour listening to Broker Talk. We look forward to having you come back next week and hear some other fantastic stories about best practices in real estate. Thanks so much.
Recording